Ladies, gentlemen, let's talk about GTA 6. Alright, calm down, calm down. Before you start commenting all sorts of stuff, I just thought it was interesting to start talking about GTA 6 and kind of my wishes for it. Mainly because, at some point it has to come out, right? Right? Please? Maybe? With GTA Online still going strong, and at some point, hopefully, we'll get the announcement. Next gen consoles are getting closer, which hopefully also means that GTA 6 is getting closer. But either way, I wanted to start kind of doing maybe a series, maybe not so much a series, but I wanted to kind of start talking about my personal wish list for the game and what I would like to see. Now, obviously, the first one to start with would be the story. Now, GTA 5, and if you look back at the other GTAs, of course, too, story was obviously always the main reason why people would purchase the game. Sure, for GTA 5, it might have been a little bit more different because GTA Online looks so promising, but we'll touch on that later. The story for GTA 5 was pretty okay. It was not what we were used to from the previous GTAs, and in my personal opinion, GTA 4 still has the best story because it was much better well written. Everything seemed to have more of a meaning. And sure, same could be said about the previous GTAs, but instead of a more I'm a small bit gangster and I'm gonna go to the top like you had in San Andreas and Vice City, it's all that stuff. In GTA 4, there was actually a purpose. There was Nico, who just came fresh off the boat and who was looking for some answers. And through the story and through the progression and meeting all those wonderful side characters and all that stuff, you finally get to the answer, which for most of us, I'm sure was a bit of a surprise and wasn't that anticlimactic type of stuff. It just really was something that had a pretty powerful ending to that whole story. You were also faced with choices. What exactly do you do? Do you let Ivan the Terrible live or not? Do you choose money or do you choose revenge? Everything had consequences, and everything that you did within the game, while big or small, made an impact to the story. This was further expanded upon later down the line in Red Dead Redemption 2, and in GTA 5 that really didn't seem to be much of a thing, because in GTA 5 they took a completely different approach with the three different characters. Now, from a gameplay perspective, I personally really enjoyed GTA 5 because of those three players. You had a lot more opportunity for gameplay mechanics to be used. For example, the Blitz play, one of the better missions within the game. Sure, everything was also very much focused on the heist, but that is where GTA 5 really shines. In terms of dialogue and in terms of the usual GTA banter, it was there. But my main gripe with the GTA 5 story is the side characters. If you look at the previous installments in the GTA series, what you always had was interesting side characters that really made the game memorable. Look at GTA 3, you had Tony Cipriani or Cipriani, depending on what type of dialogue he was giving this time. You had Salvatore Leone, you had Misty and Joey and Luigi, the list goes on and on and on. In Vice City, you had someone like Ricardo Diaz and Lance Vance, and the list on there goes on too. San Andreas. At this point, everyone knows Big Smoke because even if you never played the game, you've probably heard about the two number 9s, etc. menu order. And even further with that type of stuff, you have GTA 4 and the whole bowling thing. In GTA 5, you don't really have that because of those interesting side characters that are, in my opinion, not really existent. The only time GTA 5 really becomes a more traditional GTA game in terms of side characters is during the Strangers and Freaks mission. That exactly is where GTA 5 starts to shine and becomes to feel like a GTA game again, in terms of different side characters and all that stuff. In terms of the main story, that is simply not the case. The story really feels like, and actually kind of really is, you just being a puppet for the government and just being told to do robberies. And sure, from a story perspective, it makes sense why you are, but then again, at some point, you kind of get held onto a line oh, just one more heist and we'll leave you alone. And by that time that actually ends, you're at the end of the story, which in my opinion was a bit of a shame, but nonetheless, I did really enjoy the game. But mainly from a gameplay perspective, because if you look at memorable moments in GTA 5, primarily for me, they are in gameplay. The heist and the way you prep them are very well thought out, and hell, they even made themselves in GTA Online right now with the casino heist, which is very cool. But also, for example, a mission like Derailed, where you hop onto the train with a Sanchez. Moments like that really elevated for me GTA 5 and the further series, and I'm hoping that they will continue to do that in GTA 6. Personally, I'd say if you want to go for an ideal GTA story, you would probably have to look more to GTA 4 than you would have to do to Red Dead Redemption 2. While Red Dead Redemption 2 had a fantastic story, which I'm sure everyone who played it can agree, yeah, sure, it starts off a little bit slow, but when it finally picks up and you really get into the game, it really is something that is, in my opinion, the best thing that Rockstar has done. But the problem with a story like that, it wouldn't really fit in a GTA game because GTA is a lot more faster paced. If you're going to try to do a chapter 1 and 2 in a GTA game, you're probably going to be in trouble. Primarily because GTA players in general are more used to a bit more, quick action. Okay, where are we going with this? In Red Dead, you kind of don't really get to see what is at stake somewhere around the chapter 3 mark, which is fine. I mean, Red Dead really is a game where you should be taking everything a little bit slower and not be trying to rush through everything, which is probably the primary reason why a lot of people were kind of, taken away with like, okay, I might have to put this off a little bit more, etc., etc. From a gameplay perspective, Red Dead could definitely have done with some more higher action. It's a lot of going from A to B, but it's a very cinematic type of game, whereas GTA definitely is just, not really. Sure, there are cinematic set pieces within GTA 5, but it just wouldn't make sense to have GTA 6 leaning more towards the Red Dead Redemption approach rather than the GTA 4 approach. So in summary, what would I like to see? Pretty simple actually. A good protagonist, which preferably is going to be one protagonist, because I feel that was also one of the reasons why GTA 5 kind of was lacking in terms of story, because it was really focused around the three amigos rather than just having all energy focused on one guy. Having interesting side characters like Little Jacob, like Roman, like Vlad, when I'm going with this, and also trying to have a good look at GTA 5's gameplay in terms of mission design, because it was a lot more interesting and there was a lot more memorable moments in terms of gameplay versus like you had in GTA 4. And obviously I'd love to see some of the more crazier and a bit off the beaten path kind of characters for the side characters. Strangers and Freaks, I feel, are definitely some very nice additions to GTA 5 and Red Dead, because they definitely bring out some of the more funnier characters like you had, for example, also in Red Dead and also Red Dead Redemption 2. But with all that said and with all that done, of course I would love to know what you think down in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and I'll see you all later.